1496, quite an old port, and it was during the 16th and 17th centuries the main port of the island. After 1706, it moved to Santa Cruz de Tenerife. You can find something as important as an astrolabe buried in the ground under tons of lava. Hello everyone and welcome to Underwater Adventures with Alex Mirabal. Today we have a very special episode because we will be talking about an astrolabe that was found inland. So today we will dive into it. The mariners' astrolabes are artifacts very important for the maritime archaeologist because very few of them has been found in the world. I have been talking in other episodes about the international database of mariners' astrolabes. They only have 106, which are very few. Astrolabes are always giving us a lot of information. That's why the astrolabes are important for us. In this case, we will talk about one astrolabe which was found in land. Sorry to interrupt you guys. It's now the second time that I say that the astrolabe was found in land. I'm watching the video before it goes online and I decide to double check that information because that it was found in land sounds strange, right? So stay with me till the end of the video because we will have some nice surprises. The astrolabes, as they are so little or so few of them, they normally get the name either of the ship where they belong to or the area that they were found or the person who found them. In this case, we are talking about the one is known as the Tenerife astrolabe because we are in Tenerife Island, part of the Canary Islands or the archipelago of 8 islands that makes the Canary Islands. In Tenerife was found this astrolabe particularly in a little town that is called Garachico in the northwest coast of Tenerife, and today we will go there because we want to see and understand why this astrolabe was found in land instead in a shipwreck or instead of in the water as normally they are. So we will visit the town. I hope you enjoy the ride because it will be a very nice ride. We will go around the northern tip of the Tenerife island, going along the northern coast, which is a beautiful place. You will be able to see the Teide now in my back that it has snow. So it will be a nice ride. Please enjoy it with us and then we will explain you how this astrolabe ended up being inland. So let's go riding with us. Now we just arrived in the Garachico town, in the beautiful town of Garachico. You could see what it was. The port here, it was destroyed by two natural cataclysms long time ago. We can see still part of what it was the port. Now I will explain you why it's not working anymore as an important port. Garachico was founded in 1496, right after the conquest of the Tenerife island. So 1496, quite an old port, and it was during the 16th and 17th centuries the main port of the island. From here, there were the ships going to America and Europe with goods. The trade mostly happened here. Most of the trade of the Canary Island happened here in Garachico during the 16th and 17th century. But there were two natural disasters. In 1646, there was a landslide from the mountain. We can see we are very close to the mountain. There was a landslide that buried part of the town and the port, killing 100 people and sinking 40 ships. So you can imagine how busy the harbor was, that there was at least 40 ships in the harbor when that landslide happened. Then in 1706, there was an eruption of the Trevejo volcano that spilled lava all over this place and actually closed most of the port of Garachico, filling it with lava. Actually, we are standing now in one of the lava tongues that goes right into the sea. As you can see, this was, you will see now from this side, it was the end of the port. On this area, all this was only water. It was a very big port till there. Look at the mountain. You can see where the lava came down from. It spilled the lava over here and make this tongue of lava where we are standing. We will be going to another position so you can see it better. But that was the reason why the Garachico port stopped being so important and then moved after 1706. It moved to Santa Cruz de Tenerife. We had better conditions and is, I assume, further than any volcano. We can see still today all this that we have here is also lava. This all came and gained terrain to the sea. Normally, is the sea the one that goes into land? Well, in this case, the volcano claimed some area from the sea in 1706. That made a big change in the life of Garachico because they stopped depending on the marine trade, mostly as they did, because the port became very small. It couldn't hold big ships and it couldn't sustain that commercial activity so much. Another interesting thing, Garachico owes his name to that rock over there, which is a Garachico. That's why the entire town is called Garachico, because of this rock which is out there. We will take you to the other side now so you can see the tongue of lava that I'm talking and that we're standing now, how visible it is that it closed the port. It's actually buried the port completely, and from that corner over there, which is the monument to the emigrants, because over there it was where the families say goodbye to the emigrants in the 16th and the 17th century that were going to America. Here was most of the activity of emigration from the Canary Islands to America. It happened here in Garachico. This is the place where you can see clearly the spillage of lava going down that ended up here in the harbor and going into that tongue of lava where we were standing a few minutes ago. So here it is quite clear where the lava came from. We can also see some remains there as well. We will now go to the emigrant point over there, and we will shoot from there so you will see the tongue of lava in the middle of the port as we were mentioning. Here we are now in the midway from the port of Garachico to the emigrant point that I mentioned. Here is very well visible how little the port remained after this big tongue of lava came into the water. You can see it from here underneath there, underneath the pier or that construction, you can see the lava. In this place, apparently, it was found the Tenerife astrolabe by some people who were drilling a well in the ground to try to get fresh water. Sorry. Trying to get fresh water on the coast and on the lava? Yeah, that doesn't sound logical. And as I said in previous videos, research never ends. So it doesn't matter how good your information look like. When you find something like this, just double check. Let's double check this one as well. Why there were some people drilling a well to find fresh water under the lava and by the coast? Okay, let's continue with the video. In 1946. So that makes it very interesting as an astrolabe, because normally you find them in the water, you find them in the shipwrecks, and now you have the situation in which, unfortunately, the volcano kind of buried the entire harbor together with ships. So there must be plenty of underwater cultural heritage under this lava that will not be accessible. But in this case, it was the luck that drilling a well, that astrolabe was recovered. The astrolabe is supposed to be from the 16th century due to its characteristics. It's similar to one of the Inés de Soto astrolabes and one of the Francisco Padre. We have talked about those astrolabes. It's very similar, but it's not dated. The astrolabe has no date. That's why we said it's presumably from the 16th century. Well, looking around in the town of Garachico, and we knew that the astrolabe, or at least that is the information in the database, that the astrolabe was found when some people were drilling a well. Well, we have arrived here in what remains of the port of the time, and we have found a well that probably it was the one that they were drilling when they found the astrolabe. No. That's not the well. That's not the well. That's another well, not related to this story whatsoever. Actually, we now know the real location of the well that was drilled. So we will show it to you later in the video, but this is not the well. This is not the well. Sorry for that. After that gate over there, it was already the sea, it was the entry of the port. So all this has been covered now. We are way inside land after the eruption of the volcano and the lava covering part of the town. So I wanted to show it to you because it's interesting that it is a well, and probably is the well where the astrolabe was found.
And by the way, guys, in case you were wondering why I'm not asking any questions or why I didn't show up, I've been behind the camera the entire time and I forgot to take the other mic. So this is why once we stopped filming my dad, we decided, okay, let's let know the community why I'm not on camera. It's because I've been holding the camera so we can be more dynamic. So I see you guys on the next episode.
in this beautiful town of Garachico, you can find something as important as an astrolabe buried in the ground under tons of lava. This makes it special. At least from my perception, it makes it special. That's why I wanted to bring you all the way here to Garachico. I double checked the information I had when shooting the video and that I got from the International Database of Astrolabes, a very credible source. But as I have mentioned in other episodes as well, one source is never enough. In research, I contacted a prominent historian in the Canary Islands who has studied and researched and published these events in Garachico. This is like the main source of what happened in Garachico more than any other that you can find in your studies. So it was very interesting, first of all, to find out that the two events, the drilling of the well and the finding of the astrolabe, are not related. We all thought that the astrolabe was found drilling the well. Well, these two events are not related. The drilling of the well of 1946, it was actually, as I mentioned before, it was not looking for fresh water. It was looking for treasures of the supposed galleons or ships buried during the landslide of 1645. I said in the video that it was in 1646, but actually it was 1645, the landslide of San Damaso, as is known. And that one buried some ships, and people were hoping to find some treasures of those ships, and they drill a well under the lava and then going down all the way to the old seabed. But obviously they didn't find anything, and unfortunately during the event one person lost his life because it fell down the well. It's a very narrow well. It has nothing to do with the well that I show you in the video, which is another well. Now we know where the well was actually 30 meters away from where Maria and I were shooting this last part of the episode. We didn't know at that time, but it was just 30 meters away. This well has been closed and it's been custodied because unfortunate event happened there. But the drilling of the well looking for the treasures of the ships buried during the landslide of 1645 is not related to the finding of the astrolabe as I thought, as I read in my source. Actually, the astrolabe was found by a diver in the sea, as it should be. He don't disclose the location of where he found the astrolabe, but we have had access to photos of the measurements of the astrolabe and the weight of the astrolabe, something that is very important for the research, but is necessary to make clear here that although the story is super nice and super interesting still, those two events are not related. The drilling of the well was, yes, to look for treasures of the ships sunk during the landslide, because by the way, during the eruption of the Trevejo volcano, there was no casualties. There were no ships sunk under the lava because the volcano kind of gave signs before the eruption, not like the landslide. The landslide actually got everyone by surprise, but the volcano, people were able to prepare themselves and take the boats out of the port and people out of the Garachico town, so there was no casualties, there was no human casualties, there were no ships sunk. The volcano didn't sink any ship, the landslide did, so these guys were looking for treasures from the landslide of 1645. So the two events are not related. Still, everything happened in Garachico, this beautiful town that we visited, and I hope that you guys enjoy the story. And now this correction comes just to put the record straight and show you once again how research never ends. You have to keep on researching it. Everything that you actually believe is true, it may be another document that put this into question. So please do that every time that you are researching for anything. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoy the content and you enjoy the trip with us, and let's keep on diving.